Good evening, everyone. Hopefully this finds you doing well. I just had a Thanksgiving weekend. Hopefully all of you had a good Thanksgiving. And then also, I ended up having a trip to celebrate my mother's birthday, which was quite enjoyable. So hopefully all of you are able to do such things as well. Have enjoyable weekends. Those are always good. All right, so I want to start out. There were quite a few people who had questions about the assignment. I haven't gotten to grading it, but what is going on? My computer is having a meltdown. What's going on here? All right, well, it looks like it's back to somewhat normal again. So, okay. There were quite a few questions, especially as it applies to the output and the input. I want to go over a few things, and we can actually do it just with this regular one here, and I can just go ahead and do the assemble. I'm going to go ahead and run it. So notice here there's this type, and I can type it in hexadecimal or decimal or Unicode or binary, and we've done different styles with different things. But in this case, I think for your project it was correct to do decimal values, and then, whatever it is. And then another one here, 3. And then the output, in this case, is in hex, but you can change that to Unicode, so it would just be Unicode. Now, the Unicode of 8, which is what this result was, is blank, right? So here's our binary. Well, that makes it nice and easy. And if we remember down here in this bank, this is always in hex. No matter what you select up here, no matter what you type in for your inputs, any of that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and assemble and go ahead and run this again. I could change this to, say, hexadecimal, and I could put in an F, which is 15. And it's just adding the two numbers together, right? So then an E, which is 14, so that should be 29. And in Unicode, that's something I can't read, and 29 in decimal, but in hex, it will be 1C, I believe, not D, 1D. Yeah, that's correct. So it's an E minus 1. So, yeah, so that would be correct. So it's okay to play around with those. And so what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to upload, we'll come back to our guessing game, our calculator, our loop example. See, now this isn't all that great, right? Because it doesn't have those comments in there to add to the ability for us to kind of understand what's going on. If I remember right. Oh, that's right. This asked for decimal values. So I'm going to make sure it's decimals. 3, 2, 5, 7. And I believe it was this that stopped us. Nope. Oh, Unicode. Oh, no, maybe it's a negative number. That's what it needs. -3. Okay. And then it output 7. Why did it output 7? Yeah, I'm not sure what this did exactly. Should have kept better notes. Yep, that's the one we want here. And if we look down, no, this one doesn't have it either. But our guessing game did. So remember, our guessing game here, it prints guess a number, print a number. And so this is, like I said, this one's getting quite large. Do not change any of these. That means you, Jason. Okay, yep, perfect. All right. So that should be maybe in bold. I don't know if I can make it bold. So So where did we leave off here? All right, return from our guess. So we're going to print the question, then input an answer, and then store that target. We jump to reduce the target. And this is where we come back to when we get to, and then we jump to print the guess. We return from a guess. We input, we store the guess, and then we halt. Let's try just running this straight up here. All right, so this says input a value, and do we remember? And I could simply put something on there. So let's just try 95. Oh, it actually, I go over here and I go over here. So enter a number greater than 100. Oh, so that's 195. Okay, so I'm going to add in 195, and then it says guess a number. 5. Now, it halted. It didn't do anything. Okay, so we've input this. Oh, we stored the guess, then we halted. So we need to determine whether this is... so let's go to the next thing. Let's do a jump. So remember here, let me go down, and I'm just going to show you guys how this works, right? So for printing here, when we told it to print the question, we had the guess there. Here's the question here. So then it's a letter capital E, and notice what I'm doing is I'm using the variables to help me do it right. So E, N, T, E, R, and then I can put a space, A, space, N, U, M, B, E, R, and then a space, and then greater than a space 1, 0, 0. And that's because there's two outputs. That's how I know it's 0, 0. So, and then I do a new line. It gets me to the next line. And then I return back. So I'm ready to print the question on enter a number. So that's a question. Here is guess a number. And you know what? Actually, I'm going to add to this because it doesn't really look like I'm doing anything there. So I'm going to guess ha. So then I'm going to do, oops, load letter colon. And then, so then I need to ASCII chart. And I want one that's all on one screen, so it's easy to read. It's not the greatest, but it'll function. Okay, so I'm looking for the colon. Okay, the colon is hex 32. We go here. Letter colon, comma, hex 0032. All right, so let's try assembling. Oh, here we go. Oh, let's just take that out for now. Hit assemble. Run. 655 decimal. Guessing number. Now it put a 2 there. That's not what I wanted. What did I mess up here? The colon is not 32. 3A. Okay. Even your professor makes mistakes. Go down here. 3A. Okay. So then assemble. Click run. 555. Enter a number. It's got a colon there. That tells me that at least something. It gives a little bit more to this. And I'm going to pick a 5. And I don't know what the guess the guess is. But I think this is our target here. Our guess was 5. We have a guess. Yeah, target is 2 spaces. That's the 5. It's 2 spaces in front of that right there. So how did this get derived again? We look back here. We subtracted the prime. And so what was our prime number? Our prime number was 101, which is what is that one? Because that's, oh no, that's in decimal. So 101 decimal. Now that is a prime. So that's good. So that'll give us a number 100 or less. So, okay, yep. All right, so what we do, right, is we subtract it, and we jump on continue to reduce. If it is not negative, and so then it'll keep doing this until it skips the jump because now it's negative. We need to add the prime back into it because we want a positive number again. And then we store the target, and then we jump to return from dice, so which will come up here. All right. So after we make that guess, we have to determine which thing will get done. So we're going to jump to, and so what do I need to call this? What I want to call it is determining, decision time, right? So it's some kind of a decision. So I'm going to make decision. It's all perfectly fine. And so this is a reduced target. Let's go ahead and stick it here after the reduced target and call it make decision. Okay, so we need to figure out if it's lower than, higher than, or equal to our target. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is subtract the target. Well, first, because we don't know for sure, we're going to load our guess. We don't know for sure that that's loaded, and so we're not going to assume that it's not. So then what we do is we do a subtract target. Now comes the tricky bit. We're going to do a skip condition. And let's open this instruction set up so that we say, okay, let's handle if it's less than 0. Or wait, okay. We're going to have to do some fancy jumping here. That's okay. Because we can't say less than or equal to. We can only say less than or greater than. So okay, so let's just do one of them. It doesn't make a bit of difference which one we do. So the first one I want to do is I want to skip if it's 0. Skip again. This one's 400. So then if it's not, we're going to say not equal. And then here, this will be jump to equal func. Okay. So then if it's not equal, now we can check to see if it's negative. Skip condition 0, 0, 0. And 0, 0, 0 means it is below 0. So we're going to skip if it's less than 0. And we know it's not equal, so that means this one's positive. So we're skipping this one if it's negative. So we know that this one is positive. Positive func. And then we can just simply do a jump to negative func. Now, one of these will happen, right? So it'll do this, and so it jumps this not equal. So what we need to do, we need to set this okay, so call this equal func. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load letter E output. And now here's the interesting part. We've been putting here, so this, we're going to say determines which function to run based on guess to target. I should probably write that in regular prose, or regular, determines which function to execute based on target. Actually, I can do all caps on that one. And the reason I'm using all caps on those is because that's actually a proper name. So it's that I'm actually putting the name of the variable in here. All right, so then on this one, this says if target equals guess. That's a good one. All right, so let's get our other if target is strictly greater than guess, and if target strictly less than guess. So we need to put in our names here. So we have a positive func. And that will go here. Put a comma there. Load, let me get the caps lock. Load letter and here we have negative func load letter, I'm going to go little n output. Now each of these needs to then also do a jump, and it needs to jump back to return from reduce, because we want to ask for a new number. Copy that, paste it here, and then actually just grab this. I'm going to do a copy. Man, my computer is continuing to be. There's a paste and a paste. I don't know what's going on there. Hopefully nothing too crazy on your guys' side. All right, so let's just try assembling this. And we'll see here if we can just run this. All right, so enter a number. So let's go 555. Oh, man, I'm telling you. So 555 in decimal. And, yeah, well, you know what I could do? Okay, input a value. I'm just going to pick 5. All right, so now guess what it did here? Ah, look at this. All right, so this we can pause now. So it says it was a negative. So we ended up being in this one here. That's why we got that N there. But what we need to do is we need to go down here, and we need to go load new line. And then output. So we'd forgotten to put that there. So 555. That gives us a guess of 32. So let's try 31. Okay, so this is going to be less than... Let's try 32. I'm going to try... Oh, no, sorry, 33. Let's try 33. Okay, so what it did is it put a negative there. So that means we're too high. Okay, we'll work on that. And so then we go 31. And that also gave us a negative. Oh, well, that's interesting. Oh, because this is 32 in hex. So let's try a fairly large number here. A 99. Okay, that's greater than. So we got the greater than. And then now we want 32. So 32 in hex is 3 times 16 would be 48 plus 2. So 50. That was equal. Okay, good. So what we want to do is, so let's do the equal one first. Print did I do? Yep, okay. Print and put the quotes around this. You guessed. I do not know what's going on here. My I don't know if it's my graphics card or what it is. You guessed correctly. And then now here, actually, this one, we don't have to jump back out of this. We can actually just halt. Okay, so do a Y here. Letter U. Oops. U. Output. Let me go ahead and do something here that'll be helpful. Let me grab this, copy. That's the, OU space GU E S S E D space C O R R E C T L Y exclamation point. All right, so this is space G U E S, and then I can delete this because I don't need to load it twice. SS, and then space no, that was a mistake. The SS is still right, and then it's E D space C O R E C T L Y exclamation point. Okay, so we've got a whole bunch more letters to add in here. Let's go ahead and assemble this. So letter Y, all right, capital Y is hex of 0059. So that will be here. Letter Y, hex 0059. Letter O, MNO. Letter O, hex 006F. If I look here, little n, little o, 6F. That's correct. So that's good. Click assemble. Now we need a G, E, F. So letter G, hex 00. So E is 5, F is 6, G is 7. Capital D, letter capital D, oops, capital D, capital D. I think I got that one wrong. That one shouldn't be capital. Yeah, no, it shouldn't be. This should be a little e. And there should be a little d. Okay, assemble. Okay, little d. Little d. Hex 0064 will be 2 past B. Now I need to get C in here. Notice what I'm doing here. So I wrote the code with the variable names put in, and then I'm letting this do the work of telling me the ones that still need to be added. And remember, I'm trying to do this in order to make it easier to find. Okay, so then our little y, x, and 0, 0. We have a capital Y, and if we remember right, we can just add 2 to this number here, so we get 79. And if I look here, I get little y is 79. So I got that right. All right, so I'll click assemble here, and then I need the exclamation point. And the exclamation point is, I just need to find it. Right there, 21. That's going to be way up here. Letter, exclamation point. And it's not really a letter, but we'll call it good enough. And that should get us all the way to the end. Okay, so let's do this again. We'll go 555 here. And this time, we're gonna go ahead and just ask straight away. And remember, what was our number? 50. So that's what we're looking for here. You guessed correctly. So what I could do, and I think I'm going to, is in determining here. Oh, okay. Well, let's. This is now something I have to deal with, potentially. I want to, in my make a decision here. The user has input this number, and I want to output that number right away. I just want to output it. So what I need to do is I need to figure out. Well, let's just try it. Let's see what happens. All right. So where are we at here? Okay, inside of make a decision, we're going to load the guess. So the guess is loaded here in the accumulator. So let's go ahead and let's just do an output directly here. Just straight up do an output, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so run here, 555, and I'm going to guess 52. Now, notice what it did. It output that number. But 52, 52 is an R. But it's 50 here. So that's an exclamation point. Or no, that's a multiplication symbol. So why did it do that? All right, so let's cancel this. What I want to do is I want to load the guess and print it directly. Okay, where was my, okay, there's my guess. It's 34 in here. So then we look here, 34, that's the digit 4. And so that's right. Okay. So what it does is it automatically switches to Unicode here. That's a problem. Okay. So let's try, well, first off, when I do these, that's equal function. Okay, when I do this one here, what I want to do is I want load new line. And do the same thing, same exact thing. 2 lines here. And let's go ahead and put those in there. What that does is it will help us. 555. So 30, 30. Okay, so it came back as a negative. So what we want to do is I want to print the number and then do a new line. So that's the first thing I want to do. And I can do that before I make a decision. So it stores the guess, but and so then here I'm going to do a jump to print guess, and then here return from print. It's not the greatest thing because I'm running out of characters. But that's what we'll use to come back to here. Okay, so then let's go down to our subroutines here. Let's make another one. Print guess in decimal. Okay. That's its name. Let's print guess. Put a comma there. All right, so the first thing I want to do is load the guess. I might need a new variable here, won't I? Okay, so let's make two new variables, a tens place and a ones place. Now, here's the good thing is, I know that my number is less than 100. So if I look at decimal, it's less than 100, which means it will be stored in, it's 100 or less. Now, our prime number isn't, we should change that prime. Let's change it so that it's not, 100 is not legal. Let's do 99 is not prime, but we'll go ahead and use 99 there instead of 101. So we're going to reduce that. Where are those variables at? Variables are before the functions. I thought they are not. They're after. They're in the middle of the functions. Oh no, they're right here. Okay, so let's change this from prime to, well, let's not worry about it here. Let's change this. So this is decimal 101. So let's just change it to decimal 99. It's not prime. I could change it, and certainly that would be something I should do. And actually I can do a control find here on the prime, and it finds it there. And then can I go to the next one? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so it finds it there. Is that's the only place it's finding it? It is not the only place it is. So it adds the prime here. It subtracts the prime there. I think that's the only place. So, but I could fix it. I'm not going to worry about it. But the reason I did this is so that I can guarantee that my target is only 2 digits in decimal. And so I'm going to say target underscore tens. And to begin with, let's just store 0 there. And then I'll go target underscore ones. I better put that's hex. And I better put a comma there. Okay. print guess, and then we're going to return from guess. That's right. Okay. So here's our print guess. So we're going to load the guess. And now what we need to do is we need to subtract, because this is in hex code. That's how it's stored. And so what we're going to do is we're going to subtract 16 from it until we get a negative number. But we're going to count how many times we do that. Okay. So we're going to do a subtract 16. Okay. How do I subtract 16? Can I say this? 0, 0, 1, 0. Is that legal? Let's find out. Oh, yeah, okay. So we can't do that. Return from print guess. And it's too long. PNTG. All right, so the label print guess has already been defined. Oh, that's right. Wait. Right there. Print guess number. And print guess number. Oh, well, that's handy. So we can just subtract a number, a hard-coded number, so we don't need to save that 16 in a variable, which is nice. Okay, so what we'll want to do then is we'll want to determine whether it's negative. So skip condition if it's negative. Here's how I'm writing. All right, so if it's less than 0, yep, we just need to skip if it's negative. If it's 0, we don't care. Do we care? No, because the next time around we'll catch it. Okay. Oh, it's negative, that's 0, 0, 0. Okay. Skip condition 0, 0, 0. So if it's negative, I'm going to jump I'm just going to say jump past right now. And okay, if it's negative, oh, this is a mess. This is going to be tough. You know what? Let's try this. I'm going to do this. Well, okay. So, jump to, I'm going to just do this for now. And go over here. Okay, so if it was negative, no. So either we jump past the negative or we jump to a thing called neg. We'll come back to handling the neg. Okay, so then this says it wasn't negative. Right. If it's not negative, we want to go back to this. not neg. So we're going to jump to not neg. So that will continue to repeat until we get a negative result. However, I need to once I do this, I need to store this. Oops. I need to store, and that's where our variables come in, right? I'm going to store it in target ones. Oh, actually, I think I can jump to here. No, because I don't want to load the guess. Can I destroy my guess? I think I can. I don't need it anymore. Oh, wait. No, yes, I do. Okay, so let me undo that. Let's do this. Store negative ones, and then load negative ones. Now, you might think that that's a little weird, but the reason I'm doing that, whoops, is then here I can say not neg. So my not neg will automatically load my target ones. Now, I know that's going to be too high probably initially, but that's okay. We'll work on this. Okay, so I subtract that. I store this back into here. Oh, and then, oh, actually, and then I can do this, but here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to load target tens, add 0, 0, 0, 1. Store target tens. So I'm going to have to do this. Handle when target ones is negative. So I'm going to say neg load letter n and output. So it's just going to do an output on that. Okay, so let's see if this works at all. So 555. So now I'm going to pick my number, And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick that 53, because I know 50 is the correct answer here. Oh, no, actually it's different now. It's 3C. So 3C is 60. Okay, this is good. 53 is wrong, and that's okay. That is beyond the range. All right, do we have a variable for 1? We don't. We can easily make one. Well, let's do that. 1 hex 0001 and 16 hex 0010. All right, so when we did a subtraction here, so we're going to do an add 1. And here we do a subtract 16. 555. Let's go 61. Okay, we need to figure out what is in each of these spots, each of our variables. Now our target, we know that our target is 3C. And here is our guess. Here's our 1, here's our 10 or 16. So then the tens place is a 4. And then this 1's place here went negative. So we went 1 too far when we get negative. Let's go up here. And see, we didn't put anything else in here. So what we need to do is we need to load target tens subtract 1 and store it back in target tens. So, and then we don't need an output here. What we are going to do here is sure, I'll go ahead and store that. That's fine. And then, so I add 1 to that. Oh, before I do an output, now I need to load target 1s. Target 1s. And add 16 to that. Then store target 1s. And I can do an output there. So after this is print the guess number. So print. I want to do this. So copy and do a jump to there. So the only place we're going to get out of this print guess number is down here. Once we get to that negative, let's go ahead and run it. So 555, 61. Okay, so now see what happened here. It put an equal sign there. All right, let's look to see why it did that. So we know this 3D, or no, 3C is our target, and this is our guess. So, okay, so 3. This is our first digit. So that's 2 places beyond. I can cancel this. So 2 places beyond our guess. So 1, 2 here. That's our tens place. And hey, look at that. That is our tens place. That's good. Now, here's our problem, potentially. Oh, wait. Let's subtract 10 from this instead of 16. Let's go up here to where we were working. And not 16, but 10. And so let's subtract. And then this is 10. Assemble. Run. 555. 61. Okay. So it put the 3 here. It then output this. Yeah, we can't rely on what's in the accumulator currently. So it output whatever's in there. So that's that one. Target ones is a D. That's not correct, because that's still too high. Add 1 to the tens place. Stores the tens place. Then we subtract 10 from the ones place. And then we store it again. Then we skip past if it's negative. So then we do the not, we'll do the not negative here. If it is negative. Oh, right, so then we'll jump down to the negative here. And then the not neg here goes up and repeats. Okay, so when it becomes negative, then we load the tens place. We subtract 1 from it, because we've gone too far, because that's why we got the negative number. And then we're going to store that back in. And then we're going to load the ones place. We're going to add 10 to that. Why are we adding 10 to that? Because we need to reverse what we just did on the negative side of things. And then we store that back into target ones. And then we're going to output, and that'll be the target one. So that should just output here. So then actually what I should do then is add our digit offset. Okay. Load target tens. add the digit offset, and then output. So I want to see a 3 getting output. And I'm going to repeat this. Load target 1s, add digit offset. I have to go down to my variables and add in digit offset. And this is going to be whatever this 0 is. So 0 is hex 30. 0030. And the reason why we do that is we're going to have this decimal number between 0 and 9 stored in our ones place. And so if we add 1 to it, we get 31. And that gives us a 1, which is what we want. And the same thing, so if we wanted to print that 3, we would add 30 to this, and we would get 33. So the only thing that's a little strange on this is that if the number is is single digits, we're going to put a 0, a leading 0. But at least at this point, we're going to be okay with that. All right, back up where we're working here, and then do an output, and then we'll jump. Okay. Illegal form on line 215. Ah, yes, I need a comma there. Okay. All right, so let's run. We'll go 555. Now, our value will be 61. So here's our 3Z here. We're going to accept this as our guess. So that's 1 high. And so that is a D. That's a disconcerting. Why is it doing that? We don't need to add 10 back to that. We don't need to add 10 back to that. And the reason for that is here, when we're doing the subtractions, no, we're storing that right away. And we're seeing if that's negative. So we skip the past and we go to negative, which is here. And past is not negative. Okay, very good. We could clean this up by actually having this go to non-negative. We can. Not negative, and then we can just delete this. So it either goes to not negative, which jumps back up here, and it's going to load the tens place, add 1 to it, store it, load the ones place, subtract 10 from it, and store it, and then check again. Okay, good. What I want to do all right, run this. So 555, 61. All right, so see now it put a 3 there and then 2 equal signs. Okay, so our tens is off here. Okay, 3D is 61, which is what I typed in, which is good. But 61, and subtract 10. Oh! Haha! I changed it to 10 here, but I didn't change the value, did I? No, I didn't. So what is this? This is 0A. Now try running it. That's what happened. 61 is my first guess. 61, look at that. Okay, so let me go ahead and pause this, and I'm going to come up here. I got this to print it out properly without changing my guess. My target is still the same. My guess is still the same. I didn't change those at all because I used that guess 10, guess 10s, and guess 1s. I used those two variables to do it here. So, but here what I want to do is add digit offset and then output, and then I'm going to do a load new line, and then output. 555, 61. Okay, so it prints the 61, and then it says equals, and then greater than. And then it asks me to guess a number again. So this is returning back from the printng. So we can go up here, and we return back from the printng, and it says make a decision. So this, okay, so the equal sign is being printed. Did I add an equals down here? No. So where's that equals coming from? Oh, I do have that. I have the greater than symbol. And this is N for negative. And so this is the equals. So let's find what's the equal symbol. The equal symbol is 3D. Okay, so that what that's doing. In make a decision. You should still have a positive. So print the guess number. Print the guess number. This is all working properly. When we get here, we return back from that. So go up here and we're going to return back from that. So it's going to go to make a decision. In make a decision, here we go. There's our culprit. $555 and 61. It prints the 61, and then it puts a greater than symbol, right? Because it's still a positive number. So we can what we need to do. Let's try doing it differently this time. 555, and I'm going to go 59. So this is going to give me a negative number, which is what that N stands for. We're going to change that so that it prints the greater than symbol will print your number is too high, and so the N, right, so this will print, let me print You guessed too high, or too low. And here, print, you guessed too high. All right. You know, I could finish this. In fact, I think I'm going to. It's just a few more minutes. It's probably going to take 10 or 15 minutes. So this one's going to run a little bit long on this. Well, you know what? No, I'm not, because all of this it's just redundant. It's exactly the same thing we've done before. We're just going to go in. We're just putting in some guessing stuff here. But the gem of what we did today was this little guy here. And that is actually here. So print the guess number. So we loaded it. We saved it in these two temporary files, one for tens place and one for ones place. And we could, and that's the reason why we limited our target number. We said it has to be higher than 100, but we're forcing it to be at 2 digits. So regardless of what I picked, if I picked intelligently enough so that it would mess it up, then that wouldn't work. But what this is doing is it's adding 1 to that tens place every single time as it subtracts 10. And then if it gets a negative number when it does that subtraction, then it knows that it's gone too far by 1. So then what it does then is it loads the tens place and then adds 1 to it, and then it loads the ones place and it adds 10 to it because it subtracted 1 too many times. And so then this time, see, I get 5 and 9 in those 2 places. And then when I print them, I use a digit offset. This is a tricky business to do this, but it is exactly how things are done similarly behind the scenes. So we can convert from one to the other, although it's not easy. Notice here how hard this is. How much time this took to actually create the work for this was to subtract those numbers and do all of that. And that's actually a lot of thrashing about. So understand this would be a perfect example of why it would be nice to have some extra functionality where I could say, here's a decimal number. This is decimal. Print it out in Unicode. And it would just know how to do that. And so that would be very, very handy. But in this case, we don't have that functionality. So that's just the way it is. So life is life. All right, so I did have one person request that I go over some things from chapters 5 and 6. That will be the case. Oh, I did not make your guys' assignment, did I? I did not make your guys' assignment for chapter 10, which will be due on this Friday. Okay. I am way too far behind in grading. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back again on Wednesday of this week, and we'll do some, I don't know that there's that much more to do for Marie. And so, but we'll see. What I'll do is I'll pick out some things to cover from chapters 5 and 6, and maybe I'll cover those in the next 2 lectures, both today and then, or a Wednesday and Thursday of this week. And then next week, at this point, I don't know what I'm going to do next week. I think I'm going to switch to a no lecture next week starting then. And that'll allow me time then to also, although actually, let me think about this. No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say no lecture the rest of the week, which then gives me the time to get caught up on grading. So hopefully I'll be able to get caught up on grading by the end of the week. And then next week I'll do chapters 5 and 6. And I can reserve the whole week if I need to. And we'll look at what kind of things to look at there. And then that will be it for the class. And so, and what I should do probably is give you guys an idea of what, right, because at the beginning of the semester I talked about grading, a grading scale. And I said I have a different scale than other people do. And that's correct. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do, is I'm going to take, I believe I'm going to say that the C cutoff is 60%. The D cutoff will probably be about 55%. I think that's where I'll probably end up with that. And so 60%. And then what I'll do is I'll take the highest score in the class, whatever that is, and then I'll divide, or I'll subtract whatever 60% is. And usually I round in the student's favor, so that works. And so then I'll divide that, and that will give me both the B and the A cutoffs. And I'll add it once, and that'll give me B, and I'll add it a second time. So I'll divide that difference by 3. Sorry, that's what I should say. So I divide that difference by 3. So whoever has the highest score in the class, and at this point I don't know who that is, and I don't know that I'm going to tell you. And I also am not going to tell you where it is. Although I probably can. I just don't happen to know what it is and where it is. So that's something I can look up easily here. Let's look at this. Can I look here at a total? Is there a total here? Yeah, I did a total calculated grade for some people, but this isn't correct. I did it. It was a partial. It was before the first exam. So I don't know what the total is. Can I? Nope. I don't know what it is. And it might be taking me a few minutes. So that's something I'll provide for you guys next week. So there will be no lectures the rest of this week, unless somebody makes a request, then in which case I will jump in and do something in Marie. Otherwise, I will be spending my time trying to get things graded and caught up because I have not done any grading. We've got assignments 8 and 9 and the program. So what I'm going to do now actually is get assignment 10 written up and posted for you guys. And that one, there wasn't a lot of material there, so it shouldn't be too bad. I think I might do, like I said, I think I might do it in a little different style. So, so it won't necessarily be 7 questions, the same way as we've done before. And so I think I'll do it differently. So that's what we're looking at for the rest of the semester. Then I'll post this out there. But this is not. Let me try doing this assemble here and run. So 555, and then do 60. So it printed out the 60, and then it says you guessed correctly. So it actually did it very good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to output this. I'll output this, and then I'll post it on the Marie site. Yeah, maybe I'll finish it and then post it. just so it's done. But this is, if we notice it, this is actually quite long. We're talking, 240, 200. And we're going to add. I'm probably going to add another maybe 50 to 100 lines, 50 to 70 lines, somewhere's in there. So that's going to be, we're going to be in the 300 to 320, 330 range. That's a fairly long program, and my guess is most of you haven't written a ton of things that are even that long. And that's just how things go, is this gets actually quite... Okay, so if not, so this actually is working. So the only thing I have to do is do the finish. What are they? All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and download this. And I'll figure out what the total is, and I'll give you guys an idea. I'll do that by email, and I'll figure out. I'll send out an email on how the grading is going to work at the end of the semester. I've asked you guys to work very, very hard, and you have. So, anyways, we've run long, and I'm going to end this for now, and we will come back and work on this some more starting next week. So, yeah, I think that's the right way to do this. But if anybody has anything that they want to talk to me about or set up in a meeting, you're certainly welcome to do that. Okay, that's all for tonight. Talk to you all next week. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a break here, at least on watching videos. All right, good night. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a break on watching